Oh, hello there, and welcome to this month's book review. This month I only read two books, but I assure you, both of them were very great, and this video will not be an hour long. So, I'm pretty sick right now, which is part of the reason why I didn't read that much. And yeah, so hopefully I won't cough too much, or you guys will be able to hear me speak clearly, hopefully. Okay. So, the first book I read this month was Talent is Overrated by Geoff, Colvin. This was a recommendation from my father, and it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and it makes a lot of sense. Basically says talent doesn't exist, and pretty convincing argument for why it doesn't. So a lot of the people that we think are really talented, like Mozart or like Tiger Woods, they basically have been practicing since birth. They're not really prodigies because their parents were dedicated to making them who they were. It's like Mozart started piano when he was like 3 or something, and his father was a pianist, or maybe he was a violinist. His father was a musician, and made Mozart practice all the time. And most of Mozart's what's considered good stuff didn't happen until he had already been practicing for 20 years. So, and then Tiger Woods' dad was sort of a golf coach, and he coached Tiger until he couldn't teach him anything, and then he got him better teachers. So basically, the book's message is to get great at anything, you have to deliberately practice, and it goes into what deliberate practice is, and I disagree with it on only one condition, because it says deliberate practice can't be fun. It has to be not fun, and I think that's wrong. If we look at what Justin's good at, he's good at probably three things. He's good at roller skating. Oh, why am I starting with my thumb? He's good at roller skating. He's probably okay at running, and he's probably okay at being a loser. So, roller skating, I'm pretty sure I'm the best around. And I just practice all the time, and it's always been fun. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no one faster than me anywhere close around here. But I just practiced all the time. I've been doing it for 18 years now, and it's fun. Practicing is fun, even if I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until I get it right. It's still fun. Second thing I'm somewhat decent at, I think, is running. And I'm not a top athlete in any way, but probably better than the vast majority of everybody. So, and I find running fun. And the third thing is I'm good at being a loser. Or well, probably not that great compared to other people, but that's no fun either. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I think you can have fun and practice and get better in the way that the book is talking about. Also, the only other gripe I had was talking at the beginning on why people think talent does exist, and why society always talks about gifted people or talented people. And it brought up Francis Galton, who kind of pioneered this whole thought of greatness in people, and thought it was hereditary. And the book kind of says, yeah, he's wrong, but he did make some good contributions to statistics. And I think it's important whenever we talk about Francis Galton to remember that he is the inventor of eugenics. So let's not let him off the hook for that one. I think that's probably pretty bad. But this book was really great. Thanks, Dad. It was a good recommendation. Oh, also makes me think, like, because it talks in the book about how there were a bunch of studies to test if you could, like, make people great just by having them practice in a certain way. There's a scientist who put out, like, an ad to do a study, and he, like, married this person, and they had 3 kids, and they decided to make them chess players. And I think they had 3 daughters, and all of them were very good, but I think the middle daughter was like the only one that did like super good. But I mean, yeah, they just like dedicated their lives to teaching their kids how to play chess, and they didn't know how to play chess at all. They just hired coaches and stuff, and made these girls into very superb chess players. So, what do I want to make my chillins into? Good capitalists? I don't know. Anyways. Oh. Yeah, no, okay. Never mind. So, that was the first book I read. Or no, that was the second book I actually read chronologically, but I talked about it first anyways. So the first book I read this month was Linux Basics for Hackers. And don't let the title scare you. Oh, it's by Occupytheweb, and it's published by No Start Press, which is a very good publisher in my opinion, and I'll talk about them later if I remember. But don't let the title scare you, because it's not really much about hacking, it's more about Linux. Linux, you say? What's that, Justin? I'm glad you asked. Linux is just like an operating system, just like Windows or Mac OS or iOS or Android. Or, well, Android kind of is Linux. But Linux is what most of the web runs on, and it's pretty cool. So in this book, it talked about all sorts of things, like the file system, which makes perfect sense. And I still don't understand why the Windows file system is the way it is. Because in Windows you have drives, and in Linux you just have a tree structure. So, oh, I learned that root is not the highest directory like I thought it was. It's really root, but just a slash, not actually spelled out root. Anyways, most of you won't really understand what I'm talking about. So, moving on. Talked about file system, talked about permissions, and that convinced me that maybe octal representation has some worth. Because I was learning binary and hex, and I'm like, okay, these make sense. And then there's octal, and I'm like, why is there octal? But it makes sense for file permissions. Let's see, what else did we go over? Oh, I went over bash scripting. Bash stands for Born Again Shell, which, again, probably not many people are going to understand. I would say it's like the command prompt, but then also I don't think anyone understands that either. So, well, maybe people understand the terminal. It's like the terminal, what bash is, basically. Anyways, you can script stuff to make tasks easier. And I learned how to do that, and that was really cool, and it seems very useful. Learned about cron jobs, which are just automating tasks to do them at a certain time repeatedly. Learned about processes and services and how to kill them. Yeah, what else was there in there? Am I forgetting anything? Oh, yeah. There was a learning grep and cat, which no one is going to understand unless you use Linux. But if you're interested, you should definitely read this book. There's environmental variables. Yeah, those were fun. Oh, yeah. There's compressing and archiving. So you learn how to compress and archive with the 3 major compression tools available in Linux. Yeah, that was most of it. It was really, really informative. I learned a lot more about Linux than I thought I would. But if you're interested in Linux, and you should be, because it's pretty cool. Better than Windows. Better than because if you're interested in Mac, you should move to Windows. If you're interested in Windows, you should move to Linux, because it's so good. But yeah, learned a lot more about how it works. Also, the publisher, No Starch Press, is pretty amazing. I have a lot of their books. I started reading one a while ago on hacking, and it's teaching me about assembly, but I haven't revisited that in a while. And then another book that I was reading this month is also published by them, but that's taken me a while as well. So, and then I also have a bunch of ebooks by them on cryptography and penetration testing and all that sort of stuff. All the fun stuff. But I'm losing my voice. Yeah, so hopefully next month I will read some more. And, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll read some more. I'll get over the sickness, and I won't be training for any running stuff, so I'll just relax, read, learn some more stuff, and hopefully next month there'll be some more interesting books to review. But both of these were pretty good reads for the month, so I'd recommend both, or especially this one, to everybody if you're interested in computers that all read about Linux. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next month. Pow.